All right, everybody. I hope you guys are doing really, really great. I myself am doing wonderful because I had a long day at work and now it's over. So now I'm just chilling like I'm doing. And we are going to talk about Sebastian Rogers and the very curious happenings from the past several days as At Night releases video footage and photographs and I mean some pretty shocking revelations coming out of this Texas Roadhouse, I guess, documentation, right? So, hey, Catherine Seiler, good to see you. Hey, Marlena, welcome. So, yes, it's true. There's, SF investigates. I know there's a lot of people that really like him, and I respect that. And, to tell you the truth, the only thing I really know about him is just the whole Kylie Rodney involvement. I find it absolutely fascinating that the same guy who ingratiated himself with Kylie Rodney's family, really, really messing up the profound development that Kylie had been located, that she had been identified, and SF Investigates mucked about and turned it into a horrible thing. It was really one of the most shocking things that I have ever seen related to the whole true crime genre. And now here we are in another enormous mystery. And he is again kind of stirring the pot, creating problems, interfering, if you will, in investigation. And I do think that when you're the family, when you have a loved one who's missing, I think the only thing that matters is just finding your loved one. Of course, it was a nightmare that Kylie Rodney went missing and then was ultimately found as she was. But, in a lot of ways, the people that found her, they were heroes because they saved her family from years and years of suffering and not knowing, not having an answer, staying up all night, walking, pacing the floors. It is the worst case scenario when you have a missing loved one and there is no idea where they are, whether they're alive or not. It is the worst case scenario. So it was really quite extraordinary that she was located. It was extraordinary that she was found in an area that the local police or sheriff's department had said over and over and over again that the area had been searched, it had been thoroughly searched, that she wasn't there. And there she was, exactly where the last known ping, the last known location, exactly where it was. Exactly. The whole thing was so strange. And there was SF Investigates right up in the middle of it, misleading Kylie Rodney's mother, in my opinion. It doesn't mean it's right. I'm just giving my opinion. I felt like he did a lot of harm to that family. I think he did a lot of harm. Rather than letting them find their peace, knowing where their child was, it was really strange that he went on this public national campaign to demonize YouTubers. It's so strange. It's so bizarre that people who are dealing with real life tragedy, that they somehow they attract some of these anti-social media people, I think, and they make it all about the YouTubers instead of about the loved one. And the same thing is now happening in the search for Sebastian Rogers. Here's a situation where there's this kid who has gone missing in not what is the most suspicious circumstances or mysterious circumstances imaginable. It's a fairly common set of circumstances for special needs kids that become the victim of family or interpersonal violence more often than any other. So it's unfortunately true that kids that are on the spectrum, kids that are low IQ, they do become the target of parental violence often. And sometimes it leads to the point of losing their life, unfortunately. So in the case of Sebastian Rogers, we don't know where he is. What I think we can be safe asserting is that we know the story didn't happen the way that Christopher Proudfoot claimed that it happened. That we know for a fact. This young man did not walk away, because if he had, they would have found evidence. They would have found his body. The dogs would have picked up his scent. There would be documented evidence based on just the sheer number of security cameras, and none of that came to pass. So there are some very, very real problems. And again, SF investigates some bizarre dude from California is now mixed up in a case in Tennessee. Why in the world would he even be mixed up in it? What the hell does he have to do with it? And why is he once again making it about social media creators rather than the reality of evidence and finding out what happened to this kid? Now, what you don't know by looking at the picture that is up on the screen right now, or you may know, I mean, if you've been following this case for a while, you have figured it out. This picture, these two pictures that you see on the right side of the screen, and that is Sebastian in his yellow shirt that says optimism, and Sebastian with his bleached blonde, white hair that is shaved, very similar to Summer Wells, correct? This is actually the TBI wanted the missing persons flyer. And if you look right above Sebastian's name, you can see some of the typing, right? So I just blew it up. I had to blow it up. I had to enlarge it that much so that you could see the two photographs. And what I want you to look at is I want you to compare these two photographs that were placed on the missing persons flyer, the official missing persons flyer, with the last known image of Sebastian Rogers. This is the last known image. He is sitting there in the Texas Roadhouse with his mother. Just hours, literal hours before he goes missing. This lady right here, this is the waitress. She's bringing some bread or something to the table. And so this image that you see here, that's exactly the image that I used on the thumbnail for the video. And it is this image that I have blown up here. Now, why do I start this video having this point? Well, I want you to look at these two photographs, okay? This photo, this is at least 3 to 4 years younger. He's a little bitty fella in this photograph, with the blonde hair. Why would TBI or even Sumner County Sheriff's Office, why would they use a photograph of a 9 or 10-year-old kid who went missing when he's actually 15 years old? Why would they do that? If you look at Sebastian here on the left wearing his Yoda t-shirt or Baby Yoda, you look at that young man, and then you look at that little kid, 10, 11 years old with the bleached blonde hair. Would you think that was the same kid they were looking for? Or even the kid that's in the yellow sweatshirt with the word optimism. Do you believe that is the same young man that is sitting there with the Baby Yoda shirt on? This is so bizarre to me. This is so crazy. Now, here's why. Because if you look at the video footage of the Texas Roadhouse, while they're sitting there at the table and they're eating, right? You can watch it. They're moving around, looking around, talking, okay? She is literally taking photographs of Sebastian as he's sitting there eating. Now, just stay with me a minute on this, okay? He's eating his food. He's got his head down. He keeps looking at his food. He's eating. She is taking photographs of him, and then it looks like editing them, maybe sending it to someone because it looks like she's typing something. The point is, she takes, the little bit where you zoom in and you can actually see what it is she's doing. She takes at least 4 or 5 photographs of him from kind of like different angles, right? So within hours of this is happening all around between 6 and 6:30. And TBI suggests that he went missing sometimes after midnight. So there are fresh photographs being taken of Sebastian within 5, 6, 7 hours of him poofing into thin air. What is wrong with this? What is wrong with this picture? Why do I think this is so important? Well, look at these 2 photographs. Who the hell are we looking for? Are we looking for a little kid that's got tiny little shoulders, who's very, very thin and small, whose teeth dominate his facial features because he hasn't completely developed? Or are we looking for a young man? Now, it took me a while to get the contrast right on this picture on the left, where we could see where Sebastian's t-shirt ends, because there's a shadow back behind him, and it just made it all look black and dark. Well, I finally got it to a point that I could pick up the white fibers in the t-shirt, and you can see that his shoulder ends about right here. Look at the slope of his shoulder from his neck to the end of his shoulder. Look at that. Compared to this, this is a kid who's been through puberty. He's got the body of a man. Look at how thick his neck is compared to the picture on the right, where he's still got that little boy tweensy look, where he's kind of goofy and he's just all teeth. Kids all go through this stage. All of them, girls and boys alike, they go through this period of being goofy and silly, right? This young man that she is eating with is not in this goofy kind of stage where his body is out of proportion. He has grown wide shoulders. His neck is much, much thicker. Look at his chin. Look at the line of his chin. Testosterone is at work in this kid's body. Not in the little kid wearing the optimism shirt. You do not see the effects of testosterone, other than it looks like he's got a little bit of peach fuzz on his upper lip. but his muscles, his skeletal system, his muscles have not been affected by the testosterone. But look at the photograph on the left. This is a kid who is definitely in puberty, and testosterone is working its magic. So I also left another comparison here. Take a look at this photo, and you can, now his arm is very thin. He looks like he's undernourished. He looks like he's not getting the right amount of calories. But in terms of the skeleton, his shoulders have widened tremendously, right? If you look at his neck and follow down to the edge of his shoulder, it's very easy to see that he's definitely broadened up and gotten the bones themselves have gotten thicker and wider, and he's developing the body of a man. Same thing with his jawline, his chin. He doesn't have that little boy look anymore. Remember that picture. And the shocking contrast is even worse when you look at the one where he's got the bleach blonde hair. I, for the life of me, cannot figure out why in the world did Katie Proudfoot give TBI these photos. What is she thinking? Why would she do that? If your child goes missing, well, even let's not even talk about children. Let's just say, your best friend goes missing, and you give the local police photographs of your best friend from when you guys went to Disney World together the summer before. You give them like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pictures, right? But then, and they make their missing flyers, posters, and they put them out everywhere. And then you say to the sheriff's office, oh, did I mention my friend has been on Ozempic for the past year and she's lost 180 pounds? Are the photographs that she gave to the local police where the friend weighs an extra 180 pounds, so weighs like 300, 400 pounds. Are those pictures of the very large obese person, is that who you want people looking for? Or do you want them looking for the 120-pound person? That's what they did here, y'all. Why in God's name would Katie Proudfoot give to TBI this picture of Sebastian in the Optimism t-shirt when sitting right across the table from her is this young man? Look at his face. He doesn't even look like the kid on the right. It's incredible. And we know that this, I remember one of the conversations with Seth, he did say that those first pictures that Katie Proudfoot gave to TBI, those were all photographs of Sebastian that were like 2, 3, 4, 5 years earlier. That the photos that the Proudfoots that they provided to law enforcement, that they were old photographs before puberty, before he went through the change. But look at this kid sitting across the table from her. Look at him. And if you think, oh, his shoulders are not very wide, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, look at the man that's sitting right behind him in the white hoodie that's like where the red counter is. It says live 2056. Look right below, and that's a grown-ass man there. That man looks like he's probably, I don't know, 40, 50 years old, right? Look at the size of his shoulders where his shoulder ends and the arm begins, compared to Sebastian. You see my point? You're not even, these photographs that were put on the official missing persons flyer, it doesn't even look like the same boy at all. And now we find out that, in fact, okay, why is that not showing? Hold on, I got to figure out why this isn't showing. There it is. Okay, now we find out that, in fact, Katie is sitting right across the table from Sebastian only 6 or 7 hours before he goes missing, and she's taking photographs of him. She's taking photographs of him, y'all. You know what that means? That means that when he went missing the next day, and they say, we want to do a missing persons flyer, we need the most recent photograph that you have of Sebastian. Why didn't Katie give them a photo with the Yoda shirt on? That was within 24 hours of him going missing. What the hell, Katie? What are you doing? Your son goes missing, and you have the whole world looking for a little kid who's 12 years old. Why did you lie? Why didn't you just give them the photographs that you're clearly taking sitting at Texas Roadhouse less than 24 hours before your child has gone missing? I don't understand this. I don't understand this. It is shocking in a way that you can't. I know, I get all the virtue signaling. I get all of the, oh, we don't know, we shouldn't cast doubt. I don't care about casting doubt. I care about a kid who has poofed into the night, completely vanished off the face of the planet. And then we find out that the stepfather in the home has got 7 CPS cases across 2 states with 2 children that we know of. And how many more could there be? This is real. And I get it. I know that there's a big push on social media in the true crime type genre about you can't blame parents. You shouldn't engage in speculation, yada, yada, yada. I'm sorry, at this point, I can't do this. That the pictures, I'm sorry, that the lights were the trash truck. Oh, what you're seeing here, it's the trash truck, the lights from a trash truck. And nobody wants it to be a clue more than me, Christopher Proudfoot. It's just a trash truck. I'm so sorry, people, but no, it wasn't a trash truck. No, the hell it was not a trash truck. I don't know how many more of these shocking revelations that one has to be to. You've got to be completely out of touch to in any way believe that this is accidental. This is it right here, people. This is it. I want you to imagine that your husband goes missing. He just poofs into the middle of the night. And the cops say, well, we're looking for him. Can we have the newest picture of him so we can put his face and everything out? People will help look for him, correct? Are you gonna give the cops a photograph of your husband when he was 25 years old and still a hottie? Or are you going to give them a picture of last Christmas when he had the grandkids sitting on his knee and all his hair was out of his head? You want them looking for that cool 25-year-old man you fell in love with the mullet and the big shoulders? Or are you going to look for the old guy that you wake up with every morning? What are you going to be looking for, people? Let's please be logical. Please. There is simply no excuse that this woman sits here across the table from her child and takes multiple photographs. I have no idea why she would want to sit there and take 5, 6, 7, 8 photographs of her child sitting right across the table, and all he's doing is just eating. That's it. He's not doing anything special. He's not smiling, putting on a show, being cute. He's simply eating his dinner. That's it. And yet she does. She takes these photos. It's clear that she's taken photographs of him, and it looks to me like perhaps she's like sending it, like texting it to someone, because it looks like she's typing a message. Now, you don't know if that's true, but I know she's taking the pictures. I know beyond a shadow of a doubt, you can see it on the screen. Please explain to me why she took these photos of this young man, and yet the next day, when everybody, the whole world starts looking for this kid, she gives them, hold on. She gives them these photos. Why? What is the purpose of that? It is very hard to understand. Very hard. So I don't know. I think at some point you have to be willing. They look like it to me, Bear Honey. As if she deleted the text, they would be gone. Well, and that's the other thing, Cromaland. She could have said to the cops, she could have said, hey, look on my phone, because I took photographs last night at Texas Roadhouse, but you can still recover them. I deleted them, but I sent a message. I sent photographs to Chris, right? Maybe she sent them to Christopher. But here, take my phone. You can get them out of my phone. They're there. I deleted them, but I just deleted them this morning or last night or whatever. She did not do that. She intentionally gave photographs that did not look anything like him at all. She's eating like, I don't know, maybe a biscuit or maybe toast or something. She ate something. And I thought it was curious, and this doesn't matter, but she picks the food up and looks under the bottom of it. It was kind of strange. That probably doesn't matter at all. But it matters terribly that the photographs, she provided photographs that in no way would have led to the discovery of Sebastian. Why? Why would she do that? It's the biscuits and honey butter. Yeah, well, I'm not going to turn my nose up at honey butter. I can promise you that. All right. So I know you guys, this has been, I mean, at this point, everybody has seen this over and 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 over again. But I just can't get over the end of his shoulder is here, and you can see the slope of his shoulder going up to his neck. He's clearly got muscles, that are forming on the back of his neck and down his shoulder. His jawline, his chin is squared up. His face has gotten full. His mouth, his teeth are no longer like the dominant feature on his face. He is turning into a man. It's so clear to see the effects of testosterone. And you can compare his size to other men or other guys that are walking around, and it's clear to see the impact. It's real. It's there. Why in God's name did Katie Proudfoot have the whole world looking for a little blonde kid? And even more important, why isn't Sumner County Sheriff's Department a little curious about the same thing I'm asking? Why aren't they calling her back in and said, Katie, we didn't find any pictures of Sebastian wearing a Baby Yoda shirt at Texas Roadhouse, and yet we know you took the photographs. Were you using a burner phone? Where the hell is that burner phone? Why do you have a burner phone? Are you having an affair on Christopher? Like, what exactly is happening in this video at Texas Roadhouse? But they hadn't done any of that. All they've done was given her a restraining order to keep her protected from a skinny little 100-pound woman in Florida. This law enforcement. Ooh, I am hot under the collar. Look at him. You can see the slope around his shoulder even clearer there. I'm just blown away. I am truly can't get over it. It's just, what was she thinking? Why didn't she give them the photographs she took less than 24 hours before the kid went missing? Why? You know what? For those of you that are all into the whole virtue signaling and all that, I want you to explain to me how you overlook that. Like, why do you think that's okay? I want to be convinced that I'm looking at this wrong. I want you to convince me that this has no nefarious underpinnings. And for whom did she take these photos, right, Lolo? Who received them? Because it does look to me like she does a little text message, maybe. He smiles at the waitress. He is a sweetheart. It is so obvious. And thank you for saying that, Sunset Gazing. How many of you see a behavior disorder? Any of you? When you watch these videos, are you seeing a behavior disorder? A kid who is so out of control that he has to be put in a juvenile delinquency prison, because that's what that school is. Look at the barbed wire on the top of the fence. It's going inward. That means keeping the inmates in the asylum. This child is eating with his hands in his lap. He is taking one bite and then putting his fork down. This is not a behavior disordered child, and every one of us knows that. This is so sad. This is so sad. I am so worried that law enforcement trusted them so much in the beginning that they may not have sufficiently investigated the phone, deleted photographs, etc. I absolutely agree, Della. And I have said over and over and over again, there should be a law. We should name it Sebastian's Law. And what Sebastian's Law would do is make it mandatory for law enforcement when they have a report of a runaway or a missing child who is special needs, that the scene must be immediately preserved as if it were a crime scene. And that means you restrict access to the place, you use luminol, you collect, store, and retain potential evidence until you know exactly where that child ended up. Because what has happened now is that whatever was there at the Proudfoot home is now forever lost. They did not use luminol, not in his bedroom, not in the living room, not even outside around the stairs. They did not investigate the Proudfoot home. So if we had a law, Sebastian's Law, and we had another kid who's on the spectrum or special needs of some sort, and that kid goes missing, the parents call and say, oh my God, my child's run away. I don't know where he is. My child's been abducted. The cops would be required to secure the scene and investigate the last known location as if it were a crime scene. We have to start protecting these kids, y'all. The kids that are on the spectrum, they are the focus of parental, interpersonal, family violence more than any other group of kids. We've got to do something. These parents controlled his food and the electronics. Well, I don't know. I can't speak on that, but I can speak on his body language. He's making great eye contact with the waitress. He smiles at her. He stops eating when she comes to the table. Again, that's manners, right? This is not a child who is creating stress and trauma for the adults in his life. Now, I have spoken. If you missed that, you can go back to some of my earlier videos. Very often kids that are on the spectrum, especially high functioning, they will, their brain will do what is called mirroring, and whatever they're confronted with, whatever's in their environment, they will act that same thing out. So if you are confronted with a person who's very calm and chill and relaxed, then the kid on the spectrum is very calm and chill and relaxed. But if that person is very angry and aggressive, then guess what? The kid on the spectrum will adopt that same body language and will actually act out that very aggressive body and violence. So we get a lot of kids that are on the spectrum. They go into school and they're acting out aggressively. And the teachers from a year or two before, they're saying, oh my gosh, you can't believe that little Johnny, threw a desk across the room. He never did that. We've never seen that. And we know that kids that are on the spectrum are kids that live a rules-based life. They are comforted by routine and predictability. And so it's notable when one of them suddenly begins to become violent and act out, because they typically won't change like that. They stay kind of the same temperament all along, unless a new person comes into their life and that person is demonstrating anger and violence. And then in that case, you find out that, mom's got a new boyfriend who's got an anger problem. So he was not diagnosed with autism. He did not have a behavior problem all those years before Christopher Proudfoot was in his life. We've all heard Christopher in action on YouTube, being interviewed and such. We can clearly see he has difficulty controlling his anger and managing his emotions. And maybe that's where this supposed behavior problem comes from. Maybe Sebastian's simply mirroring Christopher's own bad behavior. And if you remove Christopher from Sebastian's life, then Sebastian's no longer acting out. He didn't act out when he was with Seth. He wasn't having to use, overnight garments when he was at Seth's house. Just when he was living with a guy who, frankly, to tell you the truth, triggers the hell out of me. Okay. I might even, need undergarments if I had to listen to Christopher Proudfoot talk much. So I just think that this is something to really consider. She had the photographs of him, y'all. She had the photographs of Sebastian from the night before, and yet the photos that she gave to law enforcement for the official missing poster they didn't even resemble him. All right. So what do you guys think of that? Do you think that it's notable? Do you think law enforcement should call her back in and say, what the hell were you doing? Why didn't you give us the damn photographs from the Texas Roadhouse? I know, DB, it's really scary. I think the photos have led us to think Sebastian Rogers looked just like he was dumbed down. Oh, yeah, Tina. And then we got the nonsense about what a behavior problem he is. And yet when we sit there and watch him actually sit there and eat his dinner, every one of us is going, man, I wish my kid had been that sweet. Wish my kid had been that calm. Wish my kid had shown those types of manners. Look at him sitting there. Look at him sitting there with his hands in his lap. Oh my gosh. See, why is she looking under I guess that's bread. I guess that's the rolls or the biscuits. But why would you pick your food up and look at the bottom of it? That's so strange. And then she's going to look at the one that's on her plate. So strange. And Sebastian still not being a behavior problem, just sitting there hanging out. His mom, of course, is not looking at him. He's trying to talk to her. He's asking her something. Maybe that he's looking at his photograph. Okay, so that's the short version. But it's so clear. You just look at his shoulders. I mean, it's so interesting. The other, let me go right here. When I look at this picture, this profile of him, like his back and the side, it looks just like that little kid, the sighting, where they thought remember the kid that was in the blue t-shirt with the blonde woman? I think they look alike. Let me pull that picture up. Hold on. Just 1 second. I'll find it. But look at his okay. I'm going to show you another picture here. So remember this picture in the blue shirt? Looks so much looks so much like where I stopped the video. Oops, where'd it go? Sorry about that, y'all. Right there. Doesn't it look like the same kid? So there again, y'all didn't see that. Sorry. There we go. Looks so much like the same kid, doesn't it? Really, really, really interesting. I think so, Marion. And you have to wonder, why would law enforcement come out and say that's not him if they investigated it? Because Christopher and Katie said, no, I can look at this picture and tell that is not him. Compared to Seth, who literally got in his car and drove up there to try to talk to people and tried to see the actual recording where the kid was walking around and moving around, right? Katie and Chris didn't go up there, but Seth did. So Seth really thought that might be him, you know? So we don't know. They've told us it wasn't. I'm just, you know, I'm not trying to mislead anything, but it looks possible. That photograph from North Carolina still trips me out. Look at the right wrist and position of his feet. Seth thought it looked like him. Yeah, absolutely. It is curious, to say the least. And then this photograph that they gave us, let me share again. This photograph that they gave us with this picture of him blonde, you know, that is an even crazier comparison. I mean, in this one, he's so little that his glasses are sticking out like actually further than his ears. And so it bears no resemblance, none at all. This was another picture that they gave us, but look at the difference in size between Sebastian and Katie. But then when we look at the video, they're very close to the same size. So why did they do this? Now, granted, okay, so there was a conversation with Seth on allegedly with Brittany. There was a conversation with Seth about these photographs, and he said that Katie was the one who gave him all of these first photographs where he was so much younger and smaller, that Katie gave those, and that it was actually Seth that gave this photograph where he's a bit older. So Seth had photographs where he looked closer to his age. Here's another one right here. This one where he's on the left. And you can clearly see this picture where he's in the gray Nike sweatshirt. That looks far more like Sebastian that's sitting across the table from Katie at the Roadhouse than the other ones that Katie gave. So it's so strange. Seth even said that was not Sebastian at the Texas Roadhouse. No, he saw Sebastian at the Roadhouse. Or are you talking about his personality, the way he was behaving? Exactly, Yvette. It was not. It was not from the same weekend. Didn't KP state that she didn't have many pics of Sebastian because he had a goofy smile? Yeah, Ohio. I mean, there were some comments, but not like that. They did kind of smile and say, "Oh, he had a goofy smile." I didn't feel like they were necessarily like being hateful. I didn't feel like they were saying that he had an unattractive smile. I think they were just referring to the fact that, he's a kid and sometimes they go through an awkward phase but I don't think they said I don't think there was anything said that she didn't have photos because of it. I mean, that's not the way I heard it in the conversation. I just thought they were just saying he had a funny smile. She had to dig into her photos to find last year's photo. Crystal, I mean, you're kind of right about that, because what are the first photos you see on your phone? The ones that you took most recently, correct? So she did have to go back in time to get photos of him before puberty set in. And again, why isn't anyone logically asking the question, why would you do that? And it is not, look, I got to say this, it's not my job at all in any way to find Sebastian. Of course, you keep your eyes open and you watch and you think, if I were to run across one of these kids, I would call the police immediately and I would not let that kid out of my sight. I would follow him or whatever. And my issue, when you go back and you listen to the videos that I've done on Sebastian, it's the question of why is Sumner County so curious in how they've made decisions about this disappearance? I think it's terrible that this young man is missing, and I pray that he is alive and that his father finds him. I can't think of anything that could be better than that. But it still begs the question, what in the hell was Sumner County Sheriff's Department thinking? This is so odd. Oh, yeah, Christelle. My daughter went missing 3 days last year. I feel it still, the panic. This mom never made me feel she was panicked and sick to her stomach. Yeah, and you know what else, Crystal? When you listen to Katie and Christopher talk about Sebastian going missing that night, they never get him outside the door. Everything they say, they talk about, it's before he supposedly walks out the door. Well, that's not exactly true. Before he leaves the porch. So they say, I don't know what made him walk through that door. I don't know why he walked through that door. That's it. That's Katie lamenting. I don't know what could have happened to make him walk through that door. Do you think that's what parents of missing children, runaway children say? Do you think they sit there in the middle of the night with a snowstorm going on and they say, oh man, I just wish I knew why he left? Or do you think they say, I hope my child is safe. I hope my child is somewhere where he's warm or he's dry. Does he have food? Is someone hurting him? It's this awareness that you don't know where your child is, and could they be being hurt, or are they sick, or are they in danger? And we never, ever, ever, ever heard that from Christopher and Katie Proudfoot. They stop at the door every time. I don't know what could have made him walk through that door. He walked out the door, locked the door, and then poofed. That was what Christopher said. It's just not true. It's not true. It's not real. Chris McDonough from the interview room said he can't get out of the house. He has no way of knowing how it is that Sebastian left the house, but he knows that he didn't walk out. And I agree. For one thing, if this child had walked off that porch and down the road, there would be evidence. There would be a scent. all of the security cameras, someone would have picked up an image. People do not poof into thin air. Oh, it is time for Katie Proudfoot to be crystal clear about what happened that night. And you know, the other thing, let me find the video. You guys just look at the comparison between these two kids and marvel at how she gave them the picture on the right for the official missing poster, but the child that they're actually looking for is the kid on the left, who has clearly already gone through puberty. Ask yourself why a mother would do such a thing. And while you are marveling at that, I'm going to see if I can find that other video that I wanted to watch. I had it earlier. Let's see. Some of them are acting like they don't want to play. I don't know if something's wrong with them or what. Let's see if this is it. Yep, this is it. All right. Okay, so let me share this other video. Because I promised y'all I would do this, even though I know you've all watched it a million times. Okay, so this is this gray car that you see here. This is Katie's car. And we've got some people coming out of the restaurant now. This door that's closest to the camera, it's an employees only entrance, which is interesting. And if you watch, Katie and Sebastian come out like literally with this person that's in the yellow coat. So that's where to direct your eyes, is up to the top right of the image where it says 1823 or 6:23 at night. And then we'll talk about some stuff that I see. And I know you guys have seen this, but I promised I would do it, so bear with me. Now, you can see Sebastian, how tall he is. There's Katie. And right there, you get your first real indication Sebastian is interested in something beside their car. He's watching closely. There's something going on the driver's side of mom's car. He's still turning. He's having to kind of take side steps because he's staying faced towards something that is there on the driver's side of his mom's car. Still looking, still looking. He's even stopped to even look even closer. And mom is just stepping down like, okay, still going. But Sebastian is skeptical. There's something of interest happening. Cute. Look at him. Okay. It's right there that if you look right up at the very, very top, you can discern movement. So there's movement before Katie gets to whoever this is standing. It's the green hoodie guy, basically. He's there and there's movement and Katie's walking right up to him. It's not like she's like kind of standing there waiting for him to get out of the way. I ask you, if there was a stranger standing between the two cars and you couldn't get into your car door, would you just go and walk right up to the stranger chest to chest? Or would you stand back like as if to say, oh, I'll let you out? Or, I mean, you wouldn't, approach them if you don't know them, right? And yet she approaches this guy, goes right up to him. And Sebastian is still watching. He hasn't taken his eye off the guy in the green hoodie. Now keep watching. Still watching. See him? Very interested in whatever is happening with mom and the guy in the green hoodie. Now, boom. Notice the guy in the black cap on the bottom left. Okay, he's just coming into the field of view here. Keep a close eye on him. Now, Sebastian is actually going to stop. He's not going to open up the door and get in the car. He's going to just stand there watching over the hood of the car, watching whatever is happening with green hoodie dude. Okay, but what I want you to keep your eyes on, I want you to keep your eyes on the dude in the black cap. Keep watching him. He's walking normal. Everything's normal. He looks like he's headed to the employee entrance. So, but watch what he does. Uh-oh. Something caught his attention. He's looking over there now at Katie and the dude in the green hoodie. So now everybody, the guy in the black cap, Sebastian, all of them are looking at the dude in the green hoodie. What is the guy doing to attract this attention? Let's see if anybody else starts paying attention. Uh-oh, look at the guy in the yellow coat. Now he has turned to watch the dude in the green hoodie, and the guy in the black cap has not stopped looking at whatever's going on with the guy in the green hoodie and Katie, who walked right up in between the cars, right up to the dude in the green hoodie. Watch this. It's crazy. He is not looking at the door. He is keeping his eyes on whatever is happening with the green hoodie guy. And the yellow jacket guy is also staring. What circumstance would make people do that? If there's a problem, right? If somebody is acting in an erratic manner, everybody in the parking lot will turn to watch and kind of go, oh, is something bad fixing to happen? Do we need to call the cops? What is going on here? And Katie walked right up to the guy. Now watch this. It's really something. The guy can't even get the door open because he's keeping his eyes on the green hoodie. Same thing with the guy in the yellow jacket. And Sebastian is not getting in the car. He's simply standing there. And Katie lied to the cops. She never told the cops that this interaction happened at all. It was like, oh, what? Huh? No green hoodie guy. What do you mean? I didn't see nothing. What? Well, Katie, you got a problem, girl, because there are witnesses here. At least two that we know of. The guy in the black cap who's going into the employee entrance, which means, Katie, they can find him. And the guy in the yellow jacket, they're hovering around the employee entrance. They're going to be able to be found. There are witnesses to this, y'all. So watch this. Watch. He gets the door open and changes his mind about going in. Because something is happening. Something's going on. And they have all decided to stand and watch. And Sebastian is not getting in the car. He's just standing there. And again, you have Katie who's saying, what? No, I didn't talk to anybody. Nothing weird happened after the Texas Roadhouse food. No, we just had a great old day. We just had a great time. It was just perfect. There was nothing that went wrong. Nothing weird. Now, I'm not going to stop this. I'm going to let y'all just watch, but watch the people's reactions looking at the dude in the green hoodie. And you see this car where you just see the black, the front end of it, right? It stops there before going on. Did the green hoodie guy get out of this car? Watch Katie. She just walks right up there to the guy that Sebastian is scared of. Look, she doesn't stop. Sebastian stops. He looks like, what the hell's going on? Katie, there she goes, walking right up to some dude acting freaky, like she knows the dude. And Sebastian's looking like, what the hell's going on? And then we're going to get the guy in the black cap, and he's going to be watching like, what the hell's that guy doing? Watch him. It's incredible. This is incredible. It's incredible. And what makes it incredible is that Katie didn't say, oh, we had trouble at the Texas Roadhouse. We were leaving and there was a crazy dude there in a green hoodie that bothered us. She didn't do any of that. She denied even seeing anybody in a green hoodie. Does this really look like she could have missed him? What does that mean? Do we think he blocked her from getting in? He blocked her from getting in where? Getting in her car? Do you think it was Chris? She could have been yelling at Sebastian and they overheard her. No, Sebastian knew. Sebastian was watching this guy before Katie even stepped toward him. Sebastian he was an observer, just like the guy in the yellow coat and the guy in the black hat. Well, okay, so baby son, a lot of people have to wear the mask if they're like going through certain types of cancer treatments because their immune system is turned off. Also, looking closer, Katie's hands. I don't know what you were trying to say, Linda. I'm sorry. I've never walked in between cars when someone else is already there. Never, not once in my life. Same. Lilith, no way would I walk up to someone I didn't know and be trapped between two cars. No way. She had to have known the guy. She had to have known the guy. It was Chris or some guy she knows. I'm with you, Kimberly. Totally agree. And it was not a trash truck. It was certainly not mischief. I absolutely agree. Check out the woman walking across the front of the black vehicle behind Katie's vehicle. Let me look. Hold on. You're talking about this lady with the purse? Where does she come from? Oh, look. Interesting. When I saw the guy in the black cap, this really sealed the deal for me. It is so clear that he is watching a disturbance. And when you look at Sebastian, you can see that he doesn't know what's going on either, but they're both looking like, what the hell? But not Katie. Katie didn't stand back and observe. She stepped right up to whomever was there. So was it Christopher? Is this Christopher in the green hoodie? And he was screaming and yelling and making a scene. Is that what was happening? I mean, it's a good question. You see how Sebastian just stands there and doesn't get in? He's watching. They're all watching. The guy in the yellow turns around to watch. Someone is clearly creating a scene. And Sebastian still has not gotten in the car. Now, there's the green hoodie. You see? He's just coming forward. So Katie somehow got around him. Somehow Katie got past him. So crazy. And I think that's where it freezes. Yeah. So that's it. It doesn't go, the video doesn't go any further than that. I don't know why. But even here where the video ends, Sebastian still has not yet gotten into the car and continues to look across the top of the car. Roxanne Polk, how about you do me a favor, okay? How about you go ahead and leave the channel and then go over to the knitting community or the painting community or the cooking community. But because the virtue signaling bullshit is filled, there's no more occupancy in the Virtue Signalers Club of America, okay? Go away. Just go away. You act like you're the only one that has any awareness that Sebastian did not go missing for our entertainment. We got that. Thank goodness you're here to help us understand that we should not be using this for entertainment. Some of us, Roxanne, are not in fact using it as entertainment. Some of us are disgusted by the behavior of Katie Proudfoot and Christopher Proudfoot. That's the truth. I don't need you to tell me the truth, Roxanne. There's nothing about you that is like impressive or tells me that you are somehow superior to anyone else in this channel. You're just looking for some way to fill your soul up with meaning, I suppose. Go somewhere else where they're talking about something you're interested in. We don't care what you have to say. Sorry, y'all. So sorry about that. Oh, it's so frustrating. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got another one. Look at Kelly Powell. Thank goodness for Kelly Powell. I'm so excited to have Kelly Powell here to lecture all of us little ants that are crawling around on the ground that have no brain. We can't think. We need people like Kelly Powell to teach us what we don't already know. You're ridiculous, Kelly Powell. Why are you here? Go away. You're actually worse than we are in talking about this. At least we are being rational and logical. You just come off sounding like you're babbling. You're saying things that are completely illogical and irrational. All right. If someone is concerned about it being for entertainment, why are they here? Thank you, Truth Seeker. Exactly. Yeah, I know, Inga Burns. I know. I shouldn't say anything. You are so right. it gets under my skin, and I get it to some point. However, when it's a real problem, it's a real problem. You don't have to be some sort of like mental giant, rocket scientist to watch the people in this video. I mean, just right here, look at Sebastian. He's seeing this. He's going, this is something very strange. And yet my mom walks right up. If this was a guy who was drunk and freaking out, or he was angry about parking in the handicap zone, or whatever possibilities that it could be, the big question would be, okay, I can accept that could be a real possibility. And yet Katie showed no fear. Katie showed zero hesitation in walking towards the crazy person who's creating this scene. Watch. Here's Katie. She's standing in between the 4 and the 0 in 2024-02. That's her. Sebastian is behind the 25. He's already watching whoever that is in the green hoodie. He already knows. He is on guard that there's something amiss. And yet, watch Katie. Watch Katie walk up. She shows no hesitation. Like, oh, maybe this person could be dangerous. Maybe this person could hurt me. Maybe I better be careful. No, she walks right up to whatever is happening with this guy in the green hoodie. She shows no fear of this guy. None. Which leads you to believe she probably knew him, Kelly Powell. Watch her. No hesitation. Look. Here she goes. Look. She's going to walk right up to him. Zero concern. Nothing. It looks like they even hug. Look at that. Wow, Kelly Powell, I'm sorry I banned you. I'd love to hear you talk about, about Katie hugging the angry drunk man. Wouldn't that be fun? Yeah. Katie walks up, Kelly Powell, and hugs the angry drunk man who's mad because she parked in the handicap zone. Yeah, your theory is so logical, Kelly. Watch, she literally hugs the guy. She puts her hand up. And boom, there they are, hugging. He's hugging her. You can see his hand on her back. Gosh, Kelly Powell, that is so interesting. I am really sorry that I banned you, because I would love to hear what fantasy nonsense you, as Queen Virtue Signaler, what you would come up with there. Why in the world would she, Katie Proudfoot, why would she hug an angry drunk man in the parking lot? Could you answer me that? Riddle me this. If there's a man who's screaming and yelling at her because she parked in the handicap parking zone, why would she hug him? Oh my gosh, you're so absurd and ridiculous. Katie Proudfoot has a handicap placard on her rearview mirror so she can park there. I mean, I'm just going along with Kelly Powell and her Virtue Signaler Club of America friends, who came in to teach all of us that we're all terrible, horrible people because we're pointing out the obvious. Everybody going to stop and watch a hug. Christopher Dunlap, I've got to side with you, buddy. No one is going to give two thoughts to watching somebody hug another person. Absolutely agree. It's just so, the virtue signaling is really sad. If your life is so empty that you don't feel good about yourself unless you're coming online and telling people who are having a perfectly reasonable conversation that they're bad people and that we should all believe like you believe and we should all act the way you act, Kelly Powell, then I'd say get out there and find you a hobby, honey. Go start doing some painting. Why don't you go take a pottery class? I took a pottery class. I love it. It's the greatest thing. Learn to play the guitar. Playing the guitar is a great way to express all those emotions that you clearly have rattling around inside of your head. But don't go around talking down to other people and acting like you're so much smarter and so much better than other people. We have eyes, Kelly Powell. We all understand human beings. We can watch this footage and we can tell by the way these people are reacting that there is something unusual that is happening, and Katie Proudfoot approaches whatever is happening with no fear. You're the only one, Kelly Powell, you and the other lady, you two are the only ones who somehow think this was just a normal event. And we can all, every single one of us, can look at the people involved here, Sebastian himself, look at these people, and you tell me, do you really think that this is just normal? That whatever Katie Proudfoot is involved in right here is normal? Look at this man in the hat. Why do you think he stops, Kelly, at the door? Kelly Powell, in all your infinite wisdom, you're so much smarter and more principled than all the rest of us. You believe that this man right here opens the door and stands there and waits, watching out toward the car because nothing was happening? Or because he was waiting to see if Katie might need assistance? Enough of the blindness. If it looks like a duck and it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, guess what? It is not an Australian Shepherd. And what do we think? I don't think the guy has the same body type as Christopher Proudfoot. But I will agree that Christopher Proudfoot looks like he's gained 100 pounds since this all started. And stress, stress eating is a real thing, right? Also, if you're drinking a lot, that's a lot of calories. But maybe, I don't know if it's Christopher Proudfoot or not. Some people have even said they thought maybe it was a woman, but I don't know. You just can't see anything. You just can't see. So I don't know, but there he is. Whatever, if it's a female or a male, or I don't know, but it is so interesting. And I guess this is right where it freezes and we can't, this is as far as the video goes. All right. All right, everybody. What do you guys think? I'm gonna read a little bit. Did Green Hoodie Guy get into KP's car? No, you can see him coming out the front right there as the video shuts off. Hey, Island. Hi, how are you? I thought that dude may have been looking at the lady getting into the car behind them. She came from the same direction that he did. I think it is TB. Who is TB? I think it is TB. Who is TB? Oh, Bowersox, something Bowersox. Terry Bowersox. Beach Life, maybe, but I don't know what Terry Bowersox looks like. I don't know. And why would Sebastian be wary of Terry Bowersox? Isn't that like his grandpa or grandfather, step grandfather? Wow, I feel stupid. I thought it was someone walking between the cars. I didn't even see the hug. Good to know. Wouldn't TRH have a clear video of the green hoodie going into TRH? We would hope, Island High, and maybe they do. Jules, there's a better video on Nick's YouTube channel. It's 7 minutes long. This is the only camera on the restaurant. No, I don't think so. I think they have cameras around the building, right? Thanks, Jules. It was real. Thanks, Thomas. It's good to see you. The guy in yellow and the workers seem to be talking, facing each other towards the end. Yeah, as the green hoodie guy walks away from Katie, right? Meek, quiet little Katie, she just went right on in there as if she was ready for battle. CJ got a close-up of his face. He has a white mustache and a white thin beard. Weird. White mustache and a white thin beard. Oh, yeah, Linda Timmons. I think law enforcement has all of this for sure. Yeah. Even if two people ran into each other while getting in and out of cars, one will usually back up and wait or go around the back and up on the other side. It's not normal to put yourself and a stranger into the same tight space. I agree, Lilith. When I saw that, I thought she's got to know the guy. You wouldn't walk up to a stranger, even a pleasant, happy stranger. You wouldn't just walk up to them. You'd give them space, wouldn't you? Well, I mean, we don't know what Kelly Powell would do, but I would give him space. I would not walk up to a stranger. That letter from the teacher on Justice Channel said Katie was not nice at all. You know what, Lone Indy? I haven't seen the letter. The letter from the teacher on Justin's channel. I don't know what that is. Is it on his his community tab? Can I go to his community tab and see it? Clutch them pearls. Oh, he's live right now too. Okay, community tab. Let's see. No, I don't see that he posted it. It must be in his video, right? All right. So I'll have to watch. I'll have to find the video so I can see it. Okay. Thank you for letting me know about the letter. I will definitely watch him tonight and see if I can find it. Teacher was, well, not if they don't see each other. Yeah, Cromaland, I would agree, except everybody in the parking lot is seeing it. They're all stopping to watch the commotion. Sebastian sees it before Katie ever walks down between the two cars. So yeah, there's that. I heard that Texas Roadhouse has cameras facing the front of Katie Proudfoot's car, and that Skylar would be incredibly valuable, right? So I do think that it would make sense that they have more angles, so they should be able to see what it is that green hoodie dude is doing. The guy that's in the dark jacket was riveted. Yes, immediately he saw it and he didn't even want to go into the building. He stopped and watched. The guy in the yellow turned around like, what's going on? There was obviously something that was happening. The letter seems fake. I would not believe one or, I don't know. No, I don't have any reason to think. Yeah. Also, Sebastian noticed the man first and has no indication of knowing who that person is. Very good point. I've wondered if the Bowersox dropped Sebastian off at a military-type school on their way to Alaska. They have those wilderness-type schools for teens. I'm sure the police have looked into it. And don't forget, Sam, on Web Sleuths, when Christopher Proudfoot was on, and later on Seth joined, and he kind of he gets weepy and sad, And you can hear him say to Christopher, did y'all put him in one of those schools? And immediately, man, Christopher jumps to attention. He's like, no, dude, no, it's okay. And he tries to get Seth to quit crying and to quit talking. So that was mentioned early on. And so here recently, in the last couple of weeks, when they started saying that they were looking for a school to put Sebastian in, I said, so that's why Seth asked him if they had put Sebastian into one of those types of schools. So it's really remarkable that all of this has fallen into place. Of course, Kelly Powell and the other virtue signalers of America, they would not remember any of that, and they would never admit to it. But it does seem like all of this so-called rumor that I didn't speak on, because we didn't know if it was rumor, now we see it's actually all been verified and justified. So someone has been leaking information that is accurate. My mom found out that they have cameras in the front parking lot. That's amazing, Skylar. Absolutely great. And Katie has a black belt. I would believe that, Karen, because she's military, right? I seen Sam get in the car and put his belt on in another video. Oh, Sebastian, sorry. Private schools, churches, hospitals, there are a lot of underground places. There is. I don't tend to go to the fantastic, right? I believe there's always a more likely than not. I know that sometimes there's extraordinary circumstances, but I think more often than not, there's a fairly simple explanation for these things that happen. In this situation, I don't have any idea. The fact that this woman took photographs of her child at the table and then turned around and gave to law enforcement photographs that were 3, 4, 5 years old for the official missing poster, I can't understand that. And that is exactly the kind of thing that law enforcement should put a thumb on Katie and say, what the hell were you thinking? You took photographs of that kid. Here they are. Why didn't you give these to us? I mean, it's just amazing. The hoodie is a United States Marine Corps hoodie. Chris goes off about the mention of his mother. Oh, yeah. He lost it. But that's his mommy. He loves his mommy. I think Katie is not a little meek and mild-mannered little lady. Well, it served her, that role served her well in the interviews, right? She didn't do the talking. Christopher did all the talking. I think law enforcement officers were wondering about Katie's photos. I hope so, Sam. I hope that they said, why is this lady giving us these old photographs? This kid is not this tiny little blonde-headed dude. Like the teachers at school say he's a pretty big guy. They should talk to the guy in the yellow and black. You know what, Skylar? I bet they have. I bet they have spoken to him. And I wonder if maybe the at night employees, Dog the Bounty Hunter, Nick the Hat, I bet they've talked to him too. I think that's why all this is coming out, because they have a story to tell. And hopefully we're going to see action on this soon. But remember, there's double jeopardy that you have to be careful of. And you don't want to arrest too soon, because the minute you arrest someone, that clock is ticking, right? So if cops feel like right now that they can't make that case, they may just be following them and trying to continue to gather evidence. But I'm telling you, after seeing this, I'm really relieved. I'm glad to see that there is actual, this stuff that has come out here from at night, this is far more by way of evidence than anything they had against Charlie Adelson. And they got Charlie Adelson for conspiracy to commit murder. He got life in prison. He's gone. And they didn't have anything like this with Charlie. So I think that they're going to be able to make a case, at least against Katie. But yeah, Sam, it's very interesting. Very interesting. And I also, I remain, I think it's also incredibly interesting that SF Investigates was involved in the Kylie Rodney case, and now he's doing exactly the same thing in the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers. Why? Why is he involving himself directly in the cases of these missing kids? Not to find the kids, but to stop the people that are trying to find them. It's very interesting. Terry Lynn found a cardboard box with all of KP's pictures and memorabilia thrown out. What the hell? Is that true? Where was that found, Karen? Yeah, she did use that baby talking cinnamon hot. Yeah. And she dabbed at her eyes with no water. I heard 2 people of interest may be in Sutherland, Oregon. That is related to Sebastian by marriage. Interesting. Very interesting. I think so too, Inga. I am not impressed. She is no Johnny Depp, that is for sure. Heath Ledger was a great actor. Do you remember where this box was at, Karen? See, I don't know a lot of the gossip stuff about it. She could have seen something. Maybe that was her ride and the driver saw something too, why they waited so long to drive off. Yeah, Sam says I cried harder when I lost my little dog, right? Like, I mean, she is very cool and collected, and she's got a missing kid out there. It's odd. In Christopher Proudfoot, what did he mean talking about Riley Strain? Remember the kid in Memphis that went missing? They went to the homeless encampment and was later found in the river. He said, so they were looking for Riley Strain at the same time that Sebastian went missing, right? Christopher Proudfoot says in an interview, he says, yeah, man, those poor parents, I just can't imagine how they feel. My jaw hit the ground. I said, what do you mean you can't imagine how they feel? You're in the same exact boat, supposedly. You got a missing boy. They got a missing boy. What does that mean? You don't know how they feel? You should know exactly how they feel more than we would, more than I would at least. He has some strange things to say. What about the one where he says, oh, this case with Sebastian, this is going to be studied for a long time? What? Why? Why is anybody going to study it? Is that the way that you make yourself feel like you're super criminal because they haven't solved it? Don't get too comfortable, Christopher Proudfoot. I got a feeling they're coming for you with a warrant in their hand. The boy in North Carolina looked just like Sebastian. I thought so, Lori. I thought so. The mom is very suspicious to me, but I don't know these people. They could have a bland defect. True. Very true. He slipped because he knows where Sebastian is. Well, see, Inga, you probably are exactly right. You got to wonder, did he realize what he said, right? Because he said, oh, I can't imagine how they feel not knowing. But you don't know. Like, you're not supposed to know where Sebastian is. So what's that about? CP has said some crazy stuff, maybe because Sebastian isn't really missing to him and KP. He then knew it would be solved and found. Wife Lilith. Wow. Also interesting. CPS was involved with Summer the next day, just like Chris, there was an investigation and Sebastian was supposed to be moving in with Seth. It's exactly, Vicky, thank you for saying that, because I feel like when I look at Sebastian Rogers, the facts surrounding the case, how many parallel facts do we have with the Summer Wells going missing? Now we know there were these 5 investigations. We know that Christopher Proudfoot had some serious CPS allegations against him. There was a new case that had opened in January, just like Summer Wells. There are definite similarities, definite. With Chris slipping, sounds like Sebastian is still alive and someone is hiding him. Yeah. This is a very curious case for sure. And my hope is the unusual curiosities. I hope that means that Sebastian is alive. My hope is that they are simply hiding him, that Katie and Christopher didn't want him anymore. That is the best case scenario. So, all right, everybody, this was much longer than I thought that it would be. I mean, we're going on 2 hours. You guys are awesome and amazing for sitting around and listening to me. And I am very sorry that I got irritated with the Virtue Signalers of America Club, but you know, we've all heard it. We know they don't like us talking about these cases, and that's okay. That's their opinion. If you have not hit the thumbs up, I hope you will. It helps other people find this video. Also, I'd invite you to hit the subscribe button, but you don't have to if you don't want to, but it helps you know when I am live, because I do not have a regular upload schedule. I work a real job in my daytime life, and so I have to just grab moments to do my videos. So if you subscribe, then you get a notification that says, hey, there's another video up. So I hope you will subscribe. I hope you will hit the thumbs up. And please, I love to read your comments. So if you want to leave me a little note under the video and tell me how the cow eat the cabbage, I am open to instruction. I hope you guys have a very nice Sunday evening, and I hope you have a great, great week. I'll see you later. Bye.